ladies and gentlemen, as the Avalanche don't play until Sunday because the Vegas and Minnesota game goes to Game 7, so Avalanche play Sunday for Game 1 of Round 2. I figure, why not give my opinions on all of the reverse retro jerseys? These are some of the best jerseys in all the sports, and I love collecting jerseys and looking at these jerseys as they are just very visually pleasing. So I'm gonna give my rankings S, A, B, C, D. There's no F in my opinion. I'm gonna try to go quickly because all of these jerseys are. There's a lot, but before we get into this, I just want to say thank you so much. There's been a lot of new people visiting the channel, subscribing, and I appreciate it. I truly believe God is showing you this video for a reason. And yeah, so who's ever watching this, thank you for tuning in. And just remember, Jesus is King, and let's get into this. So the first jersey is the Winnipeg Jets, and I'm going to put it in the B tier. This jersey is really not my favorite. It's close to a C tier, I will not lie. I am not a huge fan of that gray color that is being used. The blue is nice, and the crest that they're using, that logo is pretty nice. However, I prefer the crest that they are currently using with the Jets and the maple leaf, and I just really like that one. And to me, this jersey isn't great, and just I'm not a huge fan of the ton of gray they use for this jersey. Next up, Boston. I'm gonna give this one an A. I love this one. It's so simple, but it looks so good. That yellow just looks so good on that jersey. The logo, the traditional Boston crest looks nice. It's very simple. It's only got a couple stripes on it. I love this jersey, and I think it is one of the best reverse retros. And it may be simple, but it is amazing. Next up is Pittsburgh, and I'm going to give this one a D. I generally am not a huge fan of this. If they were going to do the name logo down, I'd have preferred they have done it on a black jersey just to make the yellow kind of pop out a little bit more. They did it on a white jersey. And I think the only team that can really pull this off is the Rangers. I remember my Avalanche tried to do this with one of their jerseys. I didn't think it looked too great. And come on, the Penguins had the robot penguin logo that they could have used as their reverse retro. To me, this just isn't my favorite reverse retro jersey, so that's why it's got to go in the D tier. Our first A tier is going to be the Carolina Hurricanes with the Hartford Whalers. I think this simple light gray works perfectly with the blue and the green, and those tones of blue and green are like my two favorite colors. I love the Hartford Whalers old logo. I love the whale that's on the shoulder of this jersey. I think it is an absolutely phenomenal jersey and a slam dunk by the Carolina Hurricanes, and I'm going to have to figure out a way to get my hands on one of these jerseys. Next up is the Tampa Bay Lightning, and this is another S tier. I freaking love the crest that's used, the old Tampa Bay logo, and on that blue jersey too, that is like my favorite tone of blue. Oh my goodness, that looks amazing. And you know, I know they used to have this old jersey, and I think it was on a black jersey before this, but on the blue, this looks so nice, and one of the best jerseys in the reverse retros from this year. Next up is the other Florida team, the Florida Panthers, and this is also getting an S. I love the red, the gold, and the blue that is in the Panthers logo, and thank you, they brought back the old Panther logo. This logo is fantastic. I don't know why they changed it. I am not a huge fan of that new shield logo they have of the shield with the panther, and then it says Panthers or Florida up top. I'm not a huge fan of that logo. It doesn't look terrible, but this old Panthers logo is fantastic. They have the newer font on the back and on the front for the captain and the alternate captains. I mean, an absolutely phenomenal jersey. Next up is the Columbus Blue Jackets, and this one's going in the A tier. I like this jersey a lot. I like the old logo with the CB, the J's, the hockey stick, the star. The red looks nice, and obviously the Columbus Blue Jackets primary is blue, but using a red in here is absolutely phenomenal. And yeah, I absolutely love this jersey. Next up is my favorite team, the Avalanche, and you already know that's an S tier. I already got Mikko Rantanen's jersey, and reason why Mikko, I know you didn't ask, but I'm going to tell you, is because I have Cale Makar in our normal home jersey, Gabriel Landeskog in our normal home jersey, Nathan McKinnon in our third jersey, so I had to pick up Mikko Rantanen to finish off of our superstar players in the reverse retro. Absolutely love this jersey. The white is amazing, and it's got the blue and maroon. It's got the Nordiques logo, but it's using the Avalanche colors. I love the font. I love the blue inside and the maroon circling the numbers. I think it is absolutely phenomenal. And the fleur-de-lis, I believe are what they're called on the jersey, absolutely brilliant, and I love this jersey. Next up is the Oilers, and I'm going to put this one in B. I don't think it's bad, but it just looks plain and like an away jersey. And I'm going to steal Post to Post Productions' thought here. He said that this should be the Oilers' primary away jersey, and I could not agree more. This looks so clean that I feel like the Oilers need to switch to this as their normal away jerseys. This is phenomenal as an away jersey, but as a reverse retro, not the biggest fan of it. I would have preferred they brought back the oil drop logo. I think that would have been fantastic, but as an away jersey, this would be nice, but as a reverse retro, it's not my favorite. The Toronto Maple Leafs, I'm going to put in C. When this jersey first came out, a lot of people were hating on it. It's like, why are people hating on it? I don't think it's that bad. But after seeing it and thinking about it a little bit more, it's not my favorite. It's not terrible, but it's not great. It's obviously got the traditional blue and white for the Maple Leafs, but not a whole lot of change. The Maple Leaf looks a little different and a little cool, but it's just not super flashy, super unique like some of these other jerseys that are on the screen. And while I don't hate it, it is definitely not my personal favorite. Next up is the Washington Capitals, and I'm going to put this one in A. I love this jersey. I love the fonts. I love the Eagles logos. I love the capital at the bottom there. I love it. I think Ovechkin wore this jersey his rookie year, if I'm remembering correctly, except obviously the colors were flipped. The red was blue and the blue was red. But as reverse retros, these are phenomenal. I don't hate the Capitals logos now, but I wish they would go back to this logo so much. I love this logo a lot, and yeah, it's spectacular. Next is the St. Louis Blues, and I'm also going to put this in A. As an Avs fan, I'm not a huge fan of St. Louis, but I love this jersey. Obviously, their old one, the blue was where the red is, and the red was where the blue was with that yellow there, but it's kind of an interesting thing. I can't remember who said it, but I agree with him. This should be their third jersey. Obviously, when you think of St. Louis, the Blues, you think of the music-type blues, and then you think blues being their primary color. But having a red third jersey is just so interesting, and for some reason works for this team. It absolutely works, and I think I agree with whoever said it. I'm sorry, I can't remember who did, but as a third jersey, that would be absolutely spectacular. Next is the Nashville Predators, and this is going in A. I love the yellow, kind of like Boston. I love the white. I love the font. I think the font is phenomenal. I like the front crest, but this would have been an S tier if that front crest was replaced with what they had on the shoulders. If the Nashville Predators put the bone logo, the bone saber-toothed tiger crest on the front, that would have been an instant S tier. I love the bone crest, and if they put that on the front, instant S tier. I like it. I like that saber-tooth logo for the Predators, but to me, I wish it would have been the bone one. Next up is the Minnesota Wild. I'm putting this one in A. I love the Wild's logo. I think it's phenomenal. I know that's probably a hot take, but that green and that yellow combined looks phenomenal. Obviously, it's the old Minnesota North Stars colors, and combining it in their modern day look, kind of like what my Avalanche did, is absolutely phenomenal. I think the white looks amazing. It looks so clean, so fresh. And yeah, this is absolutely stunning, absolutely spectacular, and I think it's one of the best reverse retros. Next is the New Jersey Devils, and this one is going in the D tier. So I have a lot to say about this jersey and the Devils organization as one, so this is going to be kind of a rant, so if you want to skip ahead, I'll talk about the jersey first, and then if you want to skip ahead to the next jersey, go ahead. I'm not a huge fan of this. I know it's kind of the old colors of the Devils, the red and the green, and I know they're Christmas colors, and I know they do work together, but for this team, I don't think it works. I do not like this personally, the red and the green for the New Jersey Devils. I get it's a reverse retro going back, but as the primary color being green, I gotta say this one is not it. I can confirm this is not it. Just not my personal taste. Now moving on to the rant, so if you want to skip ahead, go ahead. To me, I'm not a huge fan of the Devils organization, and you might be thinking, well, Parker, why? What'd they do to you? A, I'm a Christian, and I don't like to support anything that the Devil does, anything like that, whether it be the logo, the mascot of anything, like the New Jersey Devils, the Blue Devils, any of that stuff, I don't like supporting as a Christian. And B, they used to be the Colorado Rockies, and they played hockey, obviously, in Colorado, but they moved to New Jersey, so as a huge Colorado fan of the Rockies, the baseball team now, the Avalanche, the Broncos, and the Nuggets, I gotta hate them, because they moved away from my state. Anyway, rant over. Next is the Ottawa Senators, and I'm gonna put this in B. And before you get angry and yell at me, I think this is a phenomenal jersey. The red and the Ottawa logo work perfectly together. But since they brought back this logo this year, and that's their primary home and away jersey now, as a reverse retro, it's not my favorite. If it was still their old logo from last season and they brought this back, this would probably be an A or an S tier. But because they brought back this logo and this is used on their primary jersey now, just switching the color up to red for me, it didn't really get me excited about Ottawa's reverse retro. When I first saw it, I was like, dang, that's cool. And then I realized, oh, they switched their logo to that this year. So if they would have switched it up a little bit more, I would have liked it. But unfortunately, because this is their new primary logo, for me, it's that hit took a couple hits. It's still a nice jersey, but, you know. Next, the Anaheim Ducks. This is an S tier. Some people may disagree. Some people may hate this. For me, personally, I don't. I think this is one of the best jerseys. It's just such a meme jersey that it's like, is this really a jersey that was worn? Yes, it was. Wild Wing diving out of the ice. I think the cartoony font, the cartoons look phenomenal on this jersey, and I'm definitely going to have to pick me up a jersey. I'm going to have to pick it up off eBay or something. I'm pretty sure they're all sold out, but yeah, this is a phenomenal jersey come on. How can you not like it? How can you not like this jersey? Next up is the Chicago Blackhawks. I'm putting this one in B. I think the Blackhawks logo is so classic that it's kind of hard to mess with. Like, I love the primary, just that being their home and away jersey. And I know they kind of switched it up with this logo, but for me, I don't like how it's the logo, and then it's got a circle around it, and then it says Blackhawks hockey or Chicago Blackhawks in the circle. Not a huge fan of those type of designs with the circle. It's not for me. So, I'm not a huge fan of it. I mean, I'm not opposed to it. I don't think it looks bad, but for me, it's just, it's not for me. It's not for me. Next up, the Montreal Canadiens. Ooh, I'm going to put this in B. As you know, my favorite color is blue, but the Habs are just known for having a red jersey, so I don't know. I'm not opposed to this. I don't think it's terrible, but whereas I said the blue should go ahead and make the red jersey their third, I do not think that the Canadiens should make this their third. I think it's fun. I think it's nice. It was nice to wear for a couple games, but I don't think this should stick around as one of the Habs jerseys that they wear in the future. Next is the Kings, and I'm going to put this one in A. I love the purple and gold used together. Obviously, that's the Lakers colors. I think this is kind of a tribute to Kobe in a way from the LA Kings. They're going back to that traditional logo. They're going back to their old colors. And I don't hate it. I like it a lot. But for me, when I'm looking at those jerseys in the S tier, to me personally, it just doesn't compete. I like it, and it's probably at the top of A tier, but it's just not an S tier jersey for me. Next is the New York Rangers, and this is going in S tier. Bringing back the Lady Liberty jersey is amazing, and honestly, that's just enough said. That jersey is phenomenal, and honestly, man, I freaking love that logo. They hit a. This was a slam dunk right here. Slam dunk. Thank you for bringing this back. It is phenomenal. I mean, yeah, thank you so much. Vegas. I'm going to put this one in B. Obviously, Vegas being the new team, they don't really have a retro to go back to, so they're using their secondary logo. They're using, obviously, the red being their tertiary color as the primary for this one. And then they have the black and the gold and the gray kind of on the sleeves and the bottom of the jersey. But to me, the red doesn't look bad. And when this first came out, I really, really liked it. However, after seeing it being worn, I'm not a huge fan. I don't hate it, but I don't love it. If I were to do this, it would probably be at the top of B tier. But as a jersey, if I could find one for cheap, I'd probably pick it up. But just, I'm not dying to get this jersey, if you know what I mean. It looks good, but, it's definitely not my favorite. Next, the Vancouver Canucks, and this is an S tier. And I know this is a hot take, but I love the colors that the Canucks are using, the blue and the green. Obviously, kind of like the Hurricanes with their blue and green for their Whalers jersey, but I love the gradient. I love the Canucks logo. I think this is a phenomenal jersey, and while a lot of people don't like the gradient, I'm actually a huge fan of it. Next is the New York Islanders, and this is a D. This barely looks different from their normal home jerseys, in my opinion, and you had the opportunity to bring back the Fisherman logo to be an S tier jersey, and you didn't do it. You didn't do it. So, unfortunately for them, this is a D. It doesn't look much different from their normal jersey, and they had a great logo to go back to, and they just didn't. Next is the Flames. I'm going A. I think Blasty, is that the horse's name, right? I think that logo looks phenomenal, and the Flames, while their new primary color is red, going back to that black jersey looks amazing. That logo, I mean, I'm just a huge fan of this jersey. To me, it's not an S tier for me, but to me, it is still a phenomenal jersey. And yeah, I think this is a great jersey. And I don't remember the Canucks ever wearing this jersey, not the Canucks, the Flames ever wearing this jersey, but that jersey with the crest, but they could have, and maybe I just don't remember it. Next is the Stars, and this is going to D. They could have brought back the Minnesota North Stars. They didn't. They went back to one of their older looks, and I don't hate it, but the silver blends in with the white and the green. I'm not a huge fan of that tone of green. I love their new green that they're using on their current jerseys, but this green, just not a huge fan. Obviously, it's their classic logo from when they first moved to Dallas, but not a huge fan. They did redeem themselves with their kind of city edition neon jerseys, but obviously that's not a reverse retro, so I'm not ranking that one. Next is the Arizona Coyotes, and this is an S tier jersey. They have the face of, I can't remember what it's called, but that logo is phenomenal. They have the face. They got the geckos on the shoulders. They got the desert at the bottom of their jerseys. And just so unique of a jersey. And I love it. The purple looks amazing. This is an absolutely phenomenal jersey and one of the best reverse retros. Next up, the Flyers, and I'm going to give this one a C. I'm not a huge fan of this jersey, if I'm honest. I wish they did something kind of like the Bruins did, but with orange. I'm not a huge fan of the black shoulders and sleeves. I wish it was primary orange, and I'm not a huge fan of the way the black is incorporated in this jersey. That's just a personal preference. It's not terrible, but it's not my favorite. Next is, in my opinion, the worst reverse retro jersey in the Detroit Red Wings. Obviously, the white, like, this looks clean. This looks fresh. It's nice when you look at it, but creativity is just not there. They got the numbers all red. They got their classic logo, which obviously classic Detroit. But then they just got the gray stripes. Not a fan. Not a fan. They didn't really try hard. This is like, yeah, your reverse retro's due today, Detroit, and they're like, oh shoot, and they just submitted this design. So to me, I don't like it, but that's just a personal preference. Next is the Sabres, and this is a B for me. I know a lot of people love this jersey. This is a phenomenal logo. It says Buffalo. It's clean. It's on the white. But to me, I know this is a little picky. I wish it was on a blue jersey or a royal blue jersey. But, I like the logo. I think this is a fantastic jersey. Just I'm being very, very picky and wishing it was on a blue jersey. Or, heck, it's reverse retro. What if even that kind of yellowish gold in your colors was the primary color instead of white? That could be interesting. But, it's not bad, so it's going in B. And finally, the Sharks. It's also going in B. I love the logo. I love the fonts. Just to me, I wish instead of gray, it was teal. I wish instead of gray, it was teal. I'm not a huge fan of the gray jerseys, as you know. The Hurricanes did it well, but the Sharks, it doesn't look bad, but it's definitely not my favorite. Yeah, thank you so much for watching. I know I'm going to get a lot of hate on this video, so if you leave a like and subscribe, I'll be much appreciated. And go ahead and rank your reverse retros, and I can't wait to see what your tier list looks like. And without further ado, I'll catch you in my next video. Bye-bye.